It took me nearly 28 years to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, always feeling behind the curve while everyone else around me seemed to have their path forward, but that just wasn't the case for me. So if you have ever felt like you were behind the curve or you haven't arrived where you need to in life, I want to share a little bit about my story to encourage you, but also equip you and show you how you can arrive at your purpose far sooner than you ever thought possible. Welcome back. If you don't know me already, my name is Matthew, whatever you'd like to call me, but it's been a few months. It's been almost 3 months, in fact, since my last video, and that has been for no particular reason. It's not been some falling out or some tragic event that's happened. It's just been life. And honestly, it's been absolutely beautiful to take a little bit of time and just exist with my family. Over the last year, so much has changed. As many of you might already know, I became a dad, which has been the most incredible experience of my entire life. But because of that, some of my patterns of thinking have changed. It slowed me down and allowed me to really begin to process life at a different pace and realize how quickly time moves. Life is short, time moves fast, and it makes me want to be that much more intentional with my time and my effort. With that in mind, I've really been thinking a lot about placement and importance. There are so many things that I've already done in my short 31 and a half years on this earth, and I want to share some of that with you. There's so many times that I thought I had a path forward and it seemed to come to a screeching halt. There have certainly been seasons where I feel like I was placed somewhere specifically for a reason, but I was miserable there and I had no idea why. And in hindsight, I realized that two things were happening. For one, my character was being developed. I was having to wait it out and I was having to trust in the Lord. And number two, skills were being developed that I potentially didn't even know that I needed that would allow me to be successful in that next season. Trust me, I would have thought you were crazy if you told me that I'd be standing in front of a camera and communicating like this or running people's social media pages for them as a strategist. All of that would have been completely off the board. I thought I was going to play drums for the rest of my life. And for 7.5 years, I did get to live that dream. I got to tour and play one-off shows, but I also had an incredible teaching career where I was teaching 42 students a week, was staying so busy with that and loved being able to pour into the next generation of drummers. And yet, here I sit in front of the camera, not just for my day job, but talking to you to help give any bit of what I've learned as an encouragement to you in your journey. So the first thing I want to give to you is if you have the right heart, the right skill set, and the desire to make an impact, even if you feel like you're in the wrong place, you're not. That may sound super confusing to you, but even if you're not in the job that you'd like to be in currently, you never know what you're learning along the way or potentially who you're meeting that will lead you into that next season. It blows me away how many times I look back and realize that the exact season I was planted in, I was put there for a reason. Again, either to learn the skills I need to learn or to meet someone I need to meet, or sometimes both. Those are the exact things that will compile until you've reached that place where you feel content in what you're doing. Let me just reassure you that if you're in one of those seasons currently and you're not at the job you want to be at, or you're not in the place in life where you feel like you should be, don't worry about it, because that may be the exact proving ground that you're meant to be in to be prepared for that next season. This is just a little bonus to go along with point number one, that your value is not found in recognition, but your value should always be placed upon yourself through your work ethic and your faithfulness to what you're doing. Just because you're in a place that may not be ideal doesn't mean you shouldn't give it 100%. And let's say that you're in a position that you want to do something like social media, but the place you're in doesn't see the value in it. That doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. It means you should continue to hone those skills, double down, build the things you need to build, and then when that time and season comes and someone does see that value, you'll be ready to seize the opportunity. There's a lot of pressure in this world to feel like you have to have it all figured out by 22 years old or have to have a multi-million dollar business by 25. But that is not everyone's journey. It's not even potentially possible for everyone. There are extremely driven people who can go above and beyond, obsess, and accomplish incredible things. But I feel like those people are the outliers. Those are the tycoons. Those are the Mr. Beasts and the Alex Hermosis of our generation. But that's not everybody, and you don't have to feel like you're a failure if you don't want the same things they want. I personally am not driven by money in the same way. I am grateful that I live in a beautiful home, have an incredible family, and have a used Toyota that is paid off in the driveway. And that's enough for me in this season of life. Yes, I want more. Yes, we have dreams and are planning, but again, it doesn't look like me building a multi-million dollar empire at the moment. So it took me until almost 30 years old to realize that this is what I love to do. And yes, I'm still relatively new to it. I'm learning each and every day. No, I'm not the best on camera. No, I'm not the best videographer. And I'm not even the best social media strategist. That's for sure. But being able to do all these things and help other people grow is where my heart is really at. And honestly, even if I could change any of this, I wouldn't. The lessons I've learned along the way have been the value. The seasons of patience I've had to walk through, the times I've had to trust the Lord, those were the valuable things. If anything else, I have learned resiliency. I have learned how to learn, and I have learned how to overcome challenges, and that's why I'm valuable. I firmly believe that when the Bible says the steps of a righteous man are ordered of the Lord, that is the reality I have walked in. There are rooms that I've walked into that I was not fit nor qualified to be in, that the Lord opened the door and the opportunity to, and I have just been obedient and humble and been willing to learn, and that's taking me far greater places than I could have ever imagined. Man certainly plans his own ways, but the Lord does direct our path. But in order to be directed, we've got to move forward. We can't sit and be stagnant. We can't be lazy. We can't be paralyzed by all the options in front of us. We've got to make a decision at some point and just decide, I'm going to be faithful and I'm going to move forward. Again, it's all the little things that the Lord lays in front of us that we need to be faithful in before he's going to trust us with the big things. It's extremely hard when you're in the wandering and the waiting and the seasons in between. But now, as a husband, as a father, and a leader in the things that I get to do, I know that I can trust the Lord to such a deep degree that I don't have to worry. Now, this is the second and final point for this video. I told you in just a few minutes I would give you several things. Hopefully, besides these main points, there are other nuggets and takeaways from things I've said that will add value to your life. But this is something that I think is super important, and I want you to hear it. The greatest thing we can be is a servant. If we're not growing in our purpose, if we're not growing as a leader by serving first, then we've missed the calling. The only way we can be built up is if we first diminish ourselves and say, Lord, more of you and less of us. And that is what's going to lead to being elevated to the places that you'd like to be in. Sincerely, I have seen this time and time again in my life where I have been obedient in the small things, in those jobs where I didn't feel like I was seen or heard or cared about, and yet persisting in that, being faithful in that, taking ownership in that, and seeking to grow, those are the places that then gave me the skills to walk into the next season and be able to conquer the things I need to conquer. So friend, take heart, be encouraged, and don't worry, because God's got you. It's all good. So take that time, learn those skills, be faithful in where you are, and I'm sure in no time you'll find that purpose. And again, majority of the time, it's not even in the realm you think it's going to be. I identified so strongly as being a drummer and a musician that is all I could see myself being. And if I had stayed in that mindset, I would have starved all the way through COVID, not getting to tour, not getting to work, not getting to teach in-person drum lessons. And I would have missed the opportunities I would have had to grow on things like this right here. Listen, if I can do it, you can absolutely do it. There is nothing special about me, and that is the whole point of me being on here, to encourage regular men to be extraordinary. So I'm back after 3 months of being missing in action. Here I am with you again, and I hope you are encouraged by what I had to share with you today. We all have a unique journey, and we've all got to walk them out, but I want you to continue to push towards your purpose and to follow after the things you know you should be. I am simply here to encourage, equip, and inspire you. This isn't about perfect timelines, but it's about forward momentum and being the best version of ourselves every single day. If you made it this far, I just want to say thank you so much. It's always nice to hang out with you. So glad I could share with you today. And I just ask that if this was helpful, you would go ahead and give it a like, smash that like button, drop a comment down below, and share this video with a friend. And if you're not already, because most of you may not be, subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. It would mean a lot to push this message out and help this community of men grow to be better every single day. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.